Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia64 here, aka the Hypocritical Gamer, bringing you the next episode of Hunter x Hunter Vlogs. Today's episode is called A Surprising Challenge. And it actually is quite a surprising challenge. It's a cook-off! Funny enough, but it's not exactly easy for our contestants either, because first they have to find any sort of pig they want in the forest, but what they don't know is that there's only one kind of pig. It's this really dangerous pig that has this really big snout that is really tough and used for ramming, I guess. And it's you have to be really quick and really observant to take these things down. And the way to take them down is, it turns out that the reason they have this big snout is because it's there to protect a really weak forehead. So when it was Gon who figured this out, everyone else watched Gon do it, and so they started copying him, because I guess that's what you do when you don't know what to do yourself. Whoops. Oh, okay, good. Nothing's wrong. Relax. Anyway, so that's what happened. They all started taking down their pigs, and they had to roast them. And now this is where the anime and the manga differentiates from each other, because in the anime, what they had to do was they had to roast this pig and cook it to a point where it would please both judges. However, in the manga, this roasted pig was supposed to please only one judge, and the other judge gave them an entirely different thing to do. Well, let's focus on the anime for now, because funny enough, I actually like the way the anime did this one better, which is kind of interesting because in the last chapter, I liked what the manga did better. Anyway, so basically what happened was that everyone was roasting their pigs, and they were pretty much all doing it the same way. They were all cooking it, pretty much overcooking it on the outside, and then it would be undercooked on the inside. But the big guy that was told them to go get the pig, he loved it all anyway. Apparently he doesn't have like a culinary chef's taste buds or something. You know, he's just like, I love this pig, so he eats it no matter how it tastes. Because there was the other chef, the girl chef, she kept on saying she refused to eat any of this. She's like, this looks terrible. I'm not even going to try it. I can already tell what's wrong with it. I know I'm not going to like it. So she doesn't eat it, but the other guy eats it, and he's like, tastes so good. But the problem is you have to get both chefs to say, tastes so good. Now, the original purpose of this test was to judge the hunter examinees on their observation skills. But the girl chef, gourmet hunter, the girl gourmet hunter, that's what she's called. She had, I'm pretty sure her name is Menchi. Anyway, she has a bit of a temper, it turns out. And she gets a little flustered when people make fun of her line of job, being a gourmet hunter. And there was one guy in particular, one asshole, who kept on bashing on the gourmet hunter, saying, I'm gonna be a blacklist hunter, and, screw you gourmet hunters. You guys don't even do anything. And so she started judging them more and more harshly, instead on how the food was prepared, and less on how they used their observational skills. So at the end of it, she ended up only trying one person's meal, and that was Kurapika, and that was because he presented his meal, he made it look good, but unfortunately, it tasted terrible. So she didn't pass him either. In the end, all the examinees failed the test. And I was like, shit, what are they gonna do now? But then something that I didn't expect to happen, I was rather pretty impressed with it, because the chairman of the hunter examination came by. Turned out he was kind of a pervert, because he was looking at the gourmet chef's breasts, which In the anime, I was a little confused because it just kind of did a quick shot of the anime boobs, and I was like, what was that all about? And then I didn't get that it was the old man being perverted until I read the manga, where he was talking to the woman, to the gourmet chef, and you saw the little thought bubble, and it said, "Nice tits." The chairman comes to Menchie, the gourmet chef, or gourmet hunter, stop saying chef, and he asks her what seems to be the problem. Because clearly failing all the hunters, or all the examinees, was not the right thing to do. And I was like, wow, okay, I expected, all the hunters to be pretty level-headed and have a plan for everything. But in this case, that wasn't how it was. This gourmet hunter, she openly admitted that she lost her temper, and she was judging incorrectly, and she was not fit to be judged, and offered to resign her position. Right when the guy showed up, she was like, "You're right, I messed up." And I was like, wow, I actually really like that. But the guy said, "No, that'll take too long to find another examiner to fill your shoes, and we need to get this examination underway." So he said, instead, why don't you come up with a new challenge to judge their observation skills, and you do it first, so that they know what to do. They know what they need to do. And she was like, okay. And he's like, all right, here's the challenge. Make me a boiled egg. And everyone was like, what? So what she took them to this canyon where something called spider eagles, kind of reminds me of Avatar, because, two animals put together makes a different animal. Anyway, something called a spider eagle lays their eggs, and in order to protect them, they hang them over the canyon on their webs, which doesn't seem very protective. Especially, I'll get to that later in a second, but yeah, it doesn't seem very protective. However, the eggs, there was like a big group of eggs. It looked like a bunch of grapes hanging from a web over the canyon. And and again, this is a bit of where things differentiate with the manga and the anime. And again, I'm liking what the anime does. The changes that it makes. Because Menchie jumps down, she grabs onto a web and takes one egg. And then she drops from the web and just falls. Seemingly to her death, but obviously, she's not gonna die. Because there's this big air current that comes from the ground, and it actually lifts her back up, and she's able to, get back to safety and boil her egg. And so, everyone else is all like, well, okay, not everyone else, because there are a few people who are like, oh man, I do not want to jump down there. It's too risky. And so some people don't jump down. But that our four leads, Gon, Kurapika, Leorio, and Killua, they're all like, woohoo! And they all jump down. But actually, not... oh wait, no. Yeah, they all jump down, and everyone else who's brave enough jumps down too. They grab onto the webs, and I was thinking, this seems to be a little too heavy for these people. The web is a little too much for them. I don't think it's strong enough to hold all of them, but it was holding all of them, which I guess was good. And so everyone had their egg, and there was one guy who was all like, all right, and he lets go of the web to go down to the current. And Gon said, uh-oh, he wasn't supposed to do that. And everyone else was like, why? And he said, because the current's not going to come yet. And everyone's like, oh shit. And I was like, oh shit, because that guy just died. So they, eventually, everyone waits for Gon pretty much to say okay, because this guy is like really in tune with nature. And he can just tell when, weather patterns change and all this other stuff. He can smell cologne, I guess, from kilometers away. So anyway, eventually he senses the current's about to come, and he's like, alright, everyone let go! Which is good, because the web was starting to give. One thing that really confused me, though, is, they all got to safety, by the way. They ate their eggs. It tasted wonderful, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. Well, one thing that really confused me is that I really expected to see a spider eagle come around and protect their eggs. But nope. They just, got the eggs, and the only danger was to, not fall and take that air current up. I really like the air current. See, what the manga did differently is that instead of there being an air current, people just had to climb up. And that was, that was fine. It just wasn't as cool and exciting as the way the anime did it, in my opinion. The other difference I didn't mention before was how the original examination was supposed to be. Everyone made their roast pig, and the big guy loved all the pigs, and he gave them all the thumbs up. And then Menchi gave in the manga, Menchi gave them a separate dish to make for her. And what she had them make was sushi. And apparently nobody's Japanese, because nobody knew what sushi was. Except for the ninja. He knew what sushi was, and he was like, haha, I know what sushi is, I'm gonna win. And, nope. And everybody saw his face, and everybody realized he knew what it was. Someone else who knew what it was Kurapika, who did a lot of studying, I suppose. So, because of these two people, everybody started to, found out that sushi involved fish. Because they weren't told what it was. All they were given was rice already prepared, and other ingredients like chopsticks, well, maybe not chopsticks, but the knives to cut sushi, the dishes to prepare, wasabi, all of that stuff, Anyway, but everyone found out that you needed to make fish with it, but it wasn't sea fish, it was like river or lake fish or something like that, which you don't use in sushi. But the gourmet hunter was all like, I always have normal sushi. I want to try different sushi with this river fish. Which is, interesting. But anyway, so everyone got their fish, but nobody knew how to actually prepare it, again, except for the ninja. He knew how to prepare the sushi, or what it should at least look like. And this test of hers seemed even more unfair than the other one, because no one knew how to make sushi at all. They didn't know what it looked like except for one person. And when that person finally went up to present his sushi, she was all like, you made this, just because it looks like sushi doesn't mean that it's actually sushi. You made it all wrong still, And then everybody else, and then he starts to complain, and he blurts out exactly what sushi is supposed to look like. And everyone else who hadn't presented yet is like, oh shit. So they all made their sushi like that. And so she had no choice but to try all of it, because unless it looked like sushi, then and it had to look like nigiri sushi. It couldn't look like, any of those rolls, or I can't remember what this other names for sushi is. I have a book about it. Oh well. Anyway, so she had to start eating the sushi, but nobody knew how to make sushi properly. So, and she was judging them all very harshly. She was like, you cut the fish the wrong way. It's supposed to go against the grain. The rice is too pressed in together. This rice isn't cooked well enough, which is weird because they said the rice was already pre-cooked for them. So that wasn't even their fault. But, whatever. Yeah, so it was just, it was definitely unfair, and it all ended up the same. She didn't pass any of them. And, yep, then the whole, chairman came, hard-boiled egg thing. It tasted wonderful. It tasted 10 times better than a normal boiled chicken egg. And, yeah. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about is the guy that was insulting the gourmet hunters. He was one of the people that was too afraid to jump down into the canyon to get an egg. And then Gon was like, here, you can have some of my egg. Like, the little sweetheart that he is, the bastard. And then he ate the egg and was like, oh man, this is delicious. He apologized to the gourmet hunter saying that he has a lot to learn, and he'll be back next year to take the exam. And, I was like, wow, overall, everyone is a pretty good adult, nobody seems like a truly, unrealistic, terrible person at times, or just an idiot. Or maybe the people that failed are idiots. But, or, aside from that guy that just failed. You know what I'm saying. Shut up. Overall, I actually really liked this episode a lot. I liked the chapter 2, but I liked the episode a little bit more. So, let me know what you guys thought about it. So, until next time, this has been Georgia64, aka The Hypocritical Gamer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.